Greetings, everyone. Hope all of you are having an absolutely fantastic day. Let's get back into more Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. And what were we doing? Oh, this is Derean's place. We're going to go get our Oracle so we can finally have some healing and stop having to depend upon potions. Let's get to it. I don't think we need to heal. If I remember correctly, this battle isn't all that serious. Certainly not as serious as some of the battles that are to come. All right.
I am yours to command.
Here we go.
I'll rip you apart! Are the light. They are the darkness.
Really?
I'll remove this obstacle.
Die, die, die!
Oh, I should have checked if charges available. Oh well. And nope. No. Boom, boom. Boom, boom.
You're irrelevant.
Burn! Slice! Behead!
Oh, that is unacceptable. That was absolutely just. Hold on. Now, oh crap! I meant to pause, not skip her turn. What's going on here? Oh hell no! Woo. This is absolutely unacceptable. All right. Will saving all over the place.
I'll cut you wide open.
No match for me.
Wow, I screwed that up. Really screwed that up.
Should have listened to reason.
All right. Oh, I no longer have my mutagen bonus. Oh, I should have activated this first before the battle started. Oh, well,
May
whatever.
I see your entrails, please?
There we go. That's much better. This will get better over time. That just really annoyed the crap out of me.
Wherever my legs carry me. So many thoughts. So
What a splendid occasion count. And this new Numerian elixir is quite something. Oh, look, such darling little creatures. I must be well and truly soused. I'm seeing freaks with horns. Bah! Wonderful. Now brace yourselves for the smell of your own blood, you ghastly eyesore. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, yeah. I'll deal with him first. Absolutely. Can we get you to take a little night-night? Yes, we can. Excellent. Really? Oh, they're all terrified. Okay.
Mind over muscle.
Oh, that wasn't bright. That wasn't bright. God dog it. Oof. Oof. Oh. That was unfortunate.
The spirits demand your blood.
Oof.
the attack commence.
Ah, figures.
No glory without risk.
This will get really. So the courtesan, it's no problem. But the rest of you, well, I tell you, just unacceptable. All right. First, you seem way too close to him. Second, we need him going ASAP. There we go. Excellent. Didn't want him to start shredding my peoples. Oof. All right.
You are today's sacrifice.
Boom, 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 boom. Yikes.
Die! Die!
The light. Take you.
Yeah.
I'll rip you apart.
Saving throw failed. Awesome. Come on.
I'll remove this obstacle.
2 damage. It's highly resistant to acid. Interesting. Something to keep in mind.
Go for their hearts.
You don't have multiple attacks yet, girl? Come on now, speed that up. Oof. Oh. Excellent. Boom, 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 boom,
Burn!
boom.
Slice! Behead, yes!
Into the fray.
Excellent. Excellent. Drunk Noble. Y'all can stop doing all that screaming now. It's over. Thank you so much.
It went splendidly.
Portrait of Galfrey Mendet, ruler of the kingdom and founder of all crusades into the Worldwound.
Forwards? No, backwards! Backwards!
A failure is just a step to a success.
Elaborately decorated harp. Oh, that scream is going to be really annoying, huh? Thank you, stranger. The girl does not look the least bit scared. Her cheeks are flushed and her blue eyes are glittering. For saving us from the demons and for your timely entrance, I swear, I don't know who hasn't raised me more today, the demons or the oh-so-affable master of this house. I am a friend of Ilk's. I am a friend of Ilk's. He asked me to find you and protect you. The young woman claps her hands together. Ilk's is alive, and he's made a brilliant new friend. It's a shame it had to happen now when the city is under siege by the demons, and those pig-headed inquisitors are pursuing us instead of doing something useful. You know what? I'm going to submit this as a bug. I continue to hear screaming. from the game, even though the fighting is over. After dealing with the ambush at Derean's house. Mansion. Or maybe that should have been a suggestion to turn this off. How did you end up here? Horon's hounds found me in Wallflower and they tried to capture us. I distracted them. Then I lost them in the streets before charming my way into this party. Even if the Inquisitors saw where I went, they wouldn't have been allowed past the door. Horon holds no sway among certain members of the aristocracy. So I picked a good place to lie low. That is, until the demon showed up. The girl shivers and wraps her arms around herself. Now that's more like it. So I have inadvertently been harboring a traitor wanted by the Canabri's Inquisition? This day wasn't such a waste after all. Do you know where the third of your group is? Wallflower? No idea. If he knows about the demon attack, he won't just hide away. He'll go out and try to help people. If he doesn't know, well, you have no chance of finding him. He's a pretty skilled mage, but I doubt he'll risk using magic. He'll probably do something the Inquisitors won't expect. Pose as someone, disguise himself. We had a great selection of masquerade costumes in the temple. The girl becomes lost in thought for a moment. I know. I'll tie my shawl around your arm. Wallflower gave it to me. He'll spot it right away and know you're a friend. If I were you, I'd look for him in the Canabri's Market Square. Tell me about yourself. I'm Aranka, traveling bard and follower of Desna. Many of my fellow bards are rootless misfits who wander the world, unwilling or unable to live a normal life. For me, that's only partly true. I have a wonderful family, my mother, father, grandmother, and brother. Right now they are far away, and I'm sure they miss me. But they have always supported me in my vocation, and they let me be free to roam. Because they knew that I couldn't be happy while there was so much of the world I hadn't explored, and so many places where people might need my help. A bard! That's great! I love singing. Will you sing me a song? Aranka smiles. Sorry, I don't think this is a good time to sing along, sweeping epic, but I will gladly sing for you some other time. What can you tell me about the master of the house? About the Count? The girl's voice drops to a whisper. I wanted to smash a jug over his head about 5 times today already. He just brings that feeling out in people. It's one of his many talents. Other than that, well, you've probably already heard about their Rende family. All I can say is that the Count's servants flee this place like rats from a sinking ship. No one ever stays here long, even though he pays them extravagantly. I even heard one servant complain that he always feels uneasy in the Count's home, like someone is watching him. Unseen eyes staring at the back of his head, even if his back is to the wall, even if he turns around. I don't know if I believe all these tales, but I'm just telling you what I've heard. Are you deliberately talking as if I'm not here? Excellent. Like any polite host, I shall return the favor and act as if you're not here either. Why did you decide to break into the Wardstone and cast magic on it? You put your lives at risk. Your information could have been a trap set up by demons. But it wasn't a trap, Aranka says forcefully. Then her voice softens and her expression turns pensive. You know, living next to the Worldwound and seeing the powerlessness of the Crusaders, it's very hard. We've been trying to defeat the demons for 100 years now, and we have nothing to show for it. I think that Queen Galfrey and the other leaders think that we can defeat evil if we line up our soldiers in perfect columns and send them marching off with a stirring battle cry. We just need a few more soldiers, a little more discipline. But we've been marching for 100 years, and it's always 1 step forward, 2 steps back. And while the soldiers are marching, people like Horon are seizing power behind their backs. His fanaticism and cruelty were forged in the same furnace as the Crusaders' righteousness. We will never defeat the demons if we keep trying to march down this same path. We need to change tack. We'll challenge our principles, trust our hearts and our friends, and not moldering doctrines. We need to listen to an entity that is willing to help us. My friends and I listened, and we trusted, and we tried to change something. At least we tried, even though it didn't work out. Naive children, that's what you are. But I admit, your words stir something in my soul. I wouldn't put you in charge of a military campaign, but I'd be proud to fight alongside you. Can you get somewhere safe on your own? It looks like the Inquisitors aren't bursting down the door just yet, and they're not hiding under the bed, so I think I'm safe for now. I'll be fine on my own. I'll go to our temple, to Ilk's. The Inquisitors must have searched there by now. They won't go back a second time. I have to go. Good luck. May Desna be with you, stranger. And...
Greetings, valiant stranger who has just burst into my life. I am the master of this house, Count Derean Kale, myriad mellifluous monikers Arunde. No need to introduce yourself. I find remembering insignificant details, such as the name of passing acquaintances, such a bore. Now that we've finished with the niceties, tell me this. How did all those thrice-damned demons end up at my soiree?
Must have been some party to miss the fact that Canabras was being attacked by hordes of demons and Deskari himself.
Oh, come. The party was deathly dull. Rather like one of the prelate's interminable sermons. I really ought to be grateful to the demons for their intrusion. They certainly added a frisson to the proceedings. It seems as though Deskari's occasion was altogether more of a crush than mine, if you will pardon the pun.
What should I know about you, Count? Apart from the fact that you're high-born and very rich.
As a child, I had my very own pony, but I always dreamed of having a lamb. I was never allowed one. Sheep were seen as peasant animals, utterly unsuitable for the scion of a noble line. The trauma haunts me to this day. I think of it every time I have roast lamb for dinner.
I'm sorry that happened to you. Such a sad story.
I had not even the slightest intention of upsetting such a lovely child.
I'm not lovely. Some people have even called me a scarecrow before.
That's patently absurd. Why, you can't possibly be a scarecrow with a crow following you around. I'm sorry if I failed to sate your curiosity. I loathe talking about myself to people I don't know, even more to those I do know. The only thing worth knowing, aside from the fact that I am highborn and filthy rich, is that I dislike Puritans and demons in equal measure. Well, perhaps demons a tad more.
You don't seem very concerned about the city's fate.
I have no friends here whose untimely demise I would care to mourn. The only alarming thing is how easily all this happened. I don't care for the thought that demons could come calling at my door at any moment. And just think, everyone had so much faith in the ward stones gifted by Iomede's herald, and in the might of our tamed dragon, as if there had been no Drezen or a dozen other routes where the demons overcame every defense.
The Count falls silent and rubs his brow, looking fatigued.
The Orendes are one of the most ancient and noble families in Mendiv. They are related by blood to Queen Galfrey herself. The Count is the last remaining member of his dynasty. The rest all perished around 10 years ago. In the tragedy at the family seat, Heaven's Edge, the demons got past the defenses and massacred everyone inside.
I thank you for providing your friend with that helpful summary, my lady. I believe I've seen you before, with that hilarious buffoon Horgus Gwyrm. I sincerely hope you are not engaged in any kind of sordid arrangement with him. The thought of something so splendid in proximity to something so grotesque makes me feel quite ill. You deserve a better fate than that, no doubt.
Your civility knows no bounds, Count. I most assuredly do not have any arrangement with Master Gwyrm.
As Camellia speaks, hints of carefully suppressed irritation slip into her voice. I expect a little gratitude for saving you.
Of course, where are my manners? There. You can also poke about the house and claim whatever takes your fancy. Though I imagine some of you already had that in mind.
You can go to the Defender's Heart. It's under the protection of Irabeth Tirabade and the Eagle Watch.
I thank you for the invitation, but I am not quite as desperate as I may seem. At times, it is better to be surrounded by the repugnant mugs of demons than the sour and dour physiognomies of Iomede's righteous paladins.
What about my physiognomy? Sour enough for his lordship? Don't worry, another few minutes with the dazzling count here, and it'll sour like week-old milk.
What's this? An attractive paladin with a sense of humor? You're a veritable walking scandal. Either way, my mansion is now safe. I have a pair of half-decent guards. I just need to drag them out of the storeroom and bring them to their senses. I ordered them to drink a love potion, you see? For reasons which seemed extremely witty at the time, and in the state of inebriation I then found myself in. They can guard the house while the valorous paladins beat back the demon assault. They will beat them back, yes? As regards myself, I feel like stretching my legs. I know rudimentary divine spells, I am no friend to demons, and I elevate any society that I deign to grace with my presence. I shall accompany you. Only for a short time, of course. I have no desire to remain at the vanguard for a protracted period. What say you, my ephemeral but highly diverting acquaintance? After all, Lord Deskari spoiled my party. I now burn with the desire to spoil his.
Thoughts?
I don't like this guy much at all. Not even because of his personality, but just... I sense something dark about him.
He's handsome. Having a spellcaster in the party is always useful, too. If he's strong, he'll make a good ally. If he's weak, he will die instead of us.
He has all these friends at his party, and he still looks so lonely. We can take him with us. Maybe it will make him feel better?
The Count's presence can only benefit us. I think we should say yes.
What? You're asking about whether to take this boy with you? The question lies outside the bounds of my interest. By the way, did you know that the young scions of noble families often sponsor the research of young scientists? What laudable passion for knowledge. True, the size of their donations bears a direct correlation to the hazardousness of the experiment being conducted.
Deal.
Capital. Good acquaintances that begin and end at just the right moment often leave the most pleasant memories. Wouldn't you say?
Okay. Nemo isn't all that great right now.
Trail me.
Anything for you.
Excellent.
Oh, skip the pleasantries.
Ah, so much better. Excellent. Excellent. These are all just regular daggers, correct? Yep. All right, now, finally got our oracle, got some real healing. Now we head north to the library. But might as well visit the wine cellar while we're there.
Let's have some fun.
Okay. Sleep. The flyest calls first. Here, that one. Excellent.
Out of my sight!
They'll beg me to stop!
Excellent. That went exactly the way I hoped it would.
May I see your entrails, please?
Oh, wow. Sleep. Excellent. Come on, man.
I'll cut you wide open!
Save.
I will see to your demise.
Nope.
I'll rip you apart!
Really?
Let the attack commence.
Good enough. Okay.
late for apologies.
Precision and grace.
Come on, are y'all serious right now?
Die, die, die!
Good enough. All right. Save that. It's actually worth doing that now. You can actually pick up the ingredients. Sure. There we go, accept all that. Enter. All right.
I will help where I can.
Get rid of that. Get rid of that. And who else does really nice damage? Get rid of that. Excellent. Okay.
Oh, skip the
you.
pleasantries.
And I think that helps him, right? There we go.
I crave
We'll make things
your
right.
commands.
Yes.
I don't think that does anything to help. Alright, close range. You shouldn't be close though.
What's on your mind? I
You.
wonder.
Alright. I probably should heal, but
Rules are made
actually,
to
yeah,
be
we'll go ahead and heal.
I'll prove I'm the best.
What's in wait for me there, I wonder?
Only you deserve my obedience.
Let me draw the first blood.
Okay. Get everybody lined up.
I'll hit you!
Oh, she dealt 1 damage. Okay. Cool.
No glory without risk.
Excellent. Oof. That is... Oh, this is unfortunate. Alright. Oh, wow. He already has a negative level? Okay.
Burn! Slice! Behead!
Excellent. Keep going. Excellent.
No match for me.
Come on.
The spirits demand your blood.
And that did not do anything.
You won't stop us.
The light take you.
Well, that's progress.
I
Yep.
wonder what lies beyond.
So
I'll
that's...
rip you apart.
You are today's sacrifice.
Boom, boom. boom, boom.
Surrender or else.
The Inheritor, guide my
Excellent.
blade.
Oof. Poorly.
Go for their hearts.
Boom, 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 boom. All right, I forgot about that. And that did one. Come on, man. Oh, I didn't realize. Oh, I didn't realize it would work from that distance. I should have been doing that. Crap.
To the fray.
Oh, he's gonna light Sealer up.
I wonder
Yep.
what lies beyond.
Yep. All right.
They'll beg me to stop.
This doesn't help. Yeah, that doesn't help her. All right. Oh, yep, nothing for him to do.
I'll
Oops.
make short work of this.
Oh, wait. I forgot. Can't we, my tactics were all off on this.
Take you. No match for me.
You gotta be getting close. Can't I use healing spells on you? Deals 5 damage. Maybe not worth getting that close, but...
No glory without
Oh.
risk.
Are you serious? Oh, and that's another reason not to get close. God dog it. Oof. And she... Oh, ah, crap. Not one of my best showings. Hopefully he only has 1 health left. He does not. That's fine. Hey, you missed. One more time. Actually, she can use scrolls, can't she? Can she use this? Ho-ho! I forgot about that too. Or maybe not. Well, that was a nice thought. We're gonna give it one more go regardless. Just for kicks. Oh, well. Let's do that again. With better tactics.
Let's shake a leg.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. This doesn't really matter in this particular situation, but still. Oh, yeah, that. Boom.
Rely on me.
See, hotbar cleared.
You can trust me.
All that's on.
I am yours to command.
All
He's
that
restless.
on.
I wonder why.
City's restless. Just
Skip the
that.
pleasantries.
Skip the pleasantries. Okay. Now let's try this again. Oh, right.
Oh, the waiting's never fun.
Oh.
I crave your commands.
Do not fear. Do not
All right.
waver.
Boom, 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 boom. This is, oh no, that's a free action. Woohoo! How far is that?
No match for me.
Excellent. Boom, boom. All right. Excellent. Nope, you chill back here. Same with you. Same with you. Let them come. I thought he wouldn't be able to get off an attack. That was incorrect. But still. How does it damage Camellia when it was... Whatever. Alright. Alright. Boom, boom, boom.
I'll cut you wide open.
Excellent. Which is which? God dog it, it's not telling me which type they are. One of them is stronger than the other, but I don't remember which. This is the white. That's the Karen white. Okay. So we prefer to start with you. All right. Now you, free action, all that stuff.
Burn! Slice! Behead! Yes, behead.
Come on, man. So irritating. Alright, that should definitely not be hitting her, and it should hit them. White attacks. And she said, they say it does not hit anyone. Probably that pillar. Maybe they do recognize the pillar. Whatever.
I'll rip you apart.
Do. Hey, that did 8 damage. Much better. And
The spirits demand your blood.
there you go.
Into the fray.
Excellent. All right, already got that. And yep.
May I see your entrails, please?
Okay. Much better. Some of these fights, you just can't be lazy.
This way.
All right. Dun, 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 dun.
Missed me already.
And there. I don't think we have. You don't have a way of getting rid of.
The world's not ending
Yeah.
just yet.
You don't have a way of getting rid of negative levels right now, so we're just gonna have to deal with that.
Now what is that?
Okay. And now, finally, To the library. Did that. Okay. Black Wing. All right. Loot the stuff here. There we go. That. The great library of Canabras has been ravaged and wrecked in the most barbaric way. It seems that someone took perverse pleasure in smashing lamps and furniture and tearing pages out of books.
Huh? What's that?
All right. So that group sitting on the pile right there, if you wait too long, and I think too long is when Defender's Heart is attacked. But yeah, if you wait too long to come get them, then they'll already be on fire when you walk in, and that whole group except for Storyteller will die. I feel like the game does a poor job of making it clear that this is a time-sensitive quest. So that's why I feel the need to point it out. A stocky knight with a head of messy black hair stands before you. His armor is spattered with blood. He greets you with a deep, booming voice. "Oh, Crusaders! Excellent! I am Captain Shaleb Sazamal, and these are my men. I am about to burn..." Okay, yeah, so this is when they warned to tell you it's time sensitive, but by now it's too late. I am about to burn those vile backstabbers and heretics here. These pathetic imitators of the traitor Areelu who tricked their way into the ranks of the Crusaders. The knight nods at a heap of severely beaten people, and a strange elf whose appearance seems jarring for some unknown reason. Sazamal bellows threats at his prisoners, who seem to be in a state of deep shock and utter terror. The knight's left eye is twitching suspiciously. It's either a nervous tic or he's winking at you? What could that even mean? A strange feeling rises up within you. It's pure instinct. You don't know what you're about to do, but you are certain that it is right. Perception. Take a closer look at the ruthless Crusader. Failed. The Crusader's nostrils flare and fury sparks in his eyes. He looks truly angry and is spoiling for a fight. Lore. Examine the Crusader's armor and the symbols on it. You notice that the emblems on the armor of the two silent Crusaders belong to the Order of the Flaming Lance, but Chaleb's armor bears the sigil of the Order of the Sunrise Sword. Strange, then, that he introduced himself as their captain. Something's not right here. Chaotic. Requires Trickster, Mythic Path. Give in to the strange instinct. Idiots, stop. Heed my command in the name of Baphomet. You have to select this if you want to get access to the Trickster path, by the way. The words fly out of your mouth before you can even think them. Some gut instinct told you that this is precisely what needs to be said in this moment, and the words hit their target. The Crusaders jump in surprise and look at each other in terror. The corners of Derean's mouth are twitching, like he's struggling with all his might not to burst out laughing. Shalad leaps to attention and barks out, "Sorry, couldn't have known. We'll fix it right away, sir." An inexplicable feeling of rightness flows through you. You enjoy seeing the look of oafish terror on the faces of the Crusader and his lackeys when you rebuke them for their fecklessness. Listen to your gut. Stop wasting valuable fuel. If you like burning books, go rig the Great Garrison Library. Our enemies might try to sneak in there. Step to it. Derean looks at you with amused curiosity and speaks in a soft voice. "I do enjoy your sense of humor. It's quite fiery. Ha! It's gonna be more fun later on, you'll see. So, you want to turn the world upside down and make the Crusades into something else instead of deadly boring and painfully pretentious? Derean gives you an incredulous smile. You are insane. I like that. You can count on my help, at least for the next day or two before I get bored with this folly. There's plenty more where that came from, sir. I'll do everything you've ordered, and just as soon as those Crusaders arrive, they'll be dead meat. I'll go make sure that we get make it another 2 barrels of alchemist fire from the Grey Garrison storeroom. Things are going to burn right up in there. All right.
Wherever my legs carry me.
Barrels of flammable alchemical substance.
I see something
I
over
found
there.
something.
I shine in all endeavors, even failed ones.
No. Save's coming back.
See?
This is a statue of a mage who founded the Blackwing Library. He cut the wing off a demon known as a Vrock and hung it above the entrance.
Is that a trap? It might be a trap.
The bookcase is full of text describing demons and methods of fighting them. Regrettably, all this knowledge wasn't enough to save Canaveras from the spawn of the abyss.
No, what is that?
This way.
Did I fail?
The enormous black rift cuts the library in half. It goes so deep that one can only wonder who could have possibly wreaked such destruction and how. Praise Iamade, we're saved. You came just in time. A blind elf stands before you. He looks extremely strange. His face wears his years heavily, which is unusual for members of his race. Thinning gray hair, a ragged beard, sightless, milky eyes, pale, papery skin covered in age spots, a spine curved by the passage of time. This is not how elves typically age. The youth that graces the faces of elves, even on their deathbed, has totally abandoned this decrepit specimen. That is an elf with a beard. I guess the worst can be found even among the best. The old elf holds out his hands in your direction in the perennial gesture of the blind, greeting you with an unexpectedly strong and calm voice. Hello, I am Storyteller, and I wish to thank my rescuers. That is you, if I am not mistaken. Who are you? The old elf frowns. I prefer people to call me Storyteller. It very accurately describes the sphere of my occupations and interests. In most of the places I have been, I am known by that name. You have piqued my curiosity. A storyteller? Are you a bard? If so, you should come perform at one of my parties instead of knocking about in this dusty library. A bard? In some sense, yes, but not the type of bard that performs at festivities. I think your guests would lose their appetite after hearing my tales. What a shame. And I was so hoping to wheel you out for my guest with your unusual appearance. You would have caused quite the scandal. But luxurious bards are of no use to me. Half the bards in the city are the same. Their repertoire is confined to the one about longing, the one that causes indigestion, and the one that's a complete waste of time. I mean, really, how is one supposed to host a party with that? When I was little, my mother and father used to tell me stories, but I have no one to tell me stories now. Sometimes Grandma does in my dreams, but I always forget them in the morning. Can you tell me a story? The corners of the blind elf's mouth slowly creep upward. For you, I may have a story to tell, but perhaps it is you who has a story for me. I want to talk to you about something. The old elf responds with dignity and courtesy, but firmly. In thanks for my rescue, I of course will render you a service in turn, whatever it may be. However, at this moment, I wish to be somewhere safer than the present surroundings. My recent adventures have fatigued me greatly. I will be grateful if you could help me to a safe shelter of some kind. The stubborn set to the elf's mouth tells you that he won't change his mind. I'm taking you to the Defender's Heart. Please accept my sincere thanks once again, and, if I may, please don't rush. I will struggle to keep up with your young legs. The storyteller lowers his voice slightly. And I'm not the only one thankful to you. That young crusader over there is eager to give his regards, but he is too shy to approach you. I can tell from his quickened breathing. When we reach a safe place, take pity on the lad and accept his thanks. Well, went twice. The young man with aristocratic features wipes the sweat from his brow and gives you a courteous bow. Allow me to introduce myself, Brother Klaem, at your service. Thank you for helping us. We thought we were doomed to perish. There is death everywhere here. Sometimes I think we are all doomed, but then death has passed us by, and we are all still alive. Who are you? We are Crusaders of the Order of the Flaming Lance. Our order dedicates itself to the pursuit of hidden knowledge and magical methods of fighting the demons. We are searching for our leader, Sister Mjolnir, the scholar. She spent the last few weeks here, working day and night on some important research. When the demons attacked the city, we rushed here to find her, but it seems she left the city shortly before the attack began. Yet another order that couldn't even protect its own. The more I see of Crusaders, the more I'm disappointed. I have a tried and tested method of warding off disappointment. If you never expect anything good from anyone right from the off, then you can only be pleasantly surprised, though rarely. Mjolnir just left the city, leaving no word of where she could be found. None. She left in a hurry without leaving any notes or orders. Why? I have no idea. The only thing that may serve as a clue is this book, the one she was studying. The knight holds out the leather-bound tome to you. Mjolnir's note mentions something about a stone book belonging to the druids of old Sarkoris. What does that mean? Stone books. The druids of old Sarkoris used sacred trees as books. They carved their secret knowledge on the bark. When the demons came, the druids resorted to a dark ritual that turned the trees to stone and the druids themselves into undead, doomed to guard their stone library grove forever. But that happened far from here in the stone wilds. Is it possible that's where Mjolnir went? Or maybe she found one of those trees somewhere nearby. I don't know. How did you end up in this trap? The traitor met us at the door. He seemed a faithful and passionate crusader, and we didn't suspect a thing until they attacked us from behind and knocked us out. We didn't expect such trickery. Most of our order brethren are dead, and we were desperate to believe that this man in armor was a fellow crusader, a comrade. While we were unconscious, they removed our armor and tossed us on the pyre of books. What macabre blasphemy! Who is the elf with you? Is he a crusader as well? No. He calls himself the Storyteller, and he only recently arrived in Kennemer's. We often saw him in the library. He was interested in the writings about early Sarkoris and the era before that. It seems the traitor caught him in the library and decided to kill him along with the rest of us. The young man's voice drops to a polite murmur. Have you noticed that the Storyteller is a little odd? Even for Kennemer's, where you can meet the strangest people from the farthest corners of the globe among the Crusaders. Have you ever seen such a decrepit elf before? Not just old, but ancient. With a gray beard like that? Elves don't tend to grow beards, I thought, and they don't have wrinkles. An elf with wrinkles and a beard. A detestable absurdity. Go to the Defender's Heart. Those who are ready to fight back are gathering there. The city still fights? Why, that's incredible news. We would go to our sanctuary guarded by our order of brothers and sisters. We will bring them to the Defender's Heart. Those guys are essential for what's to come. All right. Storyteller. I'm taking you to the Defender's Heart. Please accept my suspicious thanks. Struggle, yep, okay. You want to go to the Defender's Heart now? I do. All right. And everybody's here. Ooh. Yes, sir, right away. Hey, Stauton, there's filth on the floor. Be a good lad and clean it up. Yes, sir, right away. The sight of that traitorous dog turns my stomach. Why did the queen spare his life? She should have strung him up as a warning to all cultists. That she should have, sir. So many years in the condemned. Surely you have paid your penance by now? That's not up to me to decide. My life is in the Queen's hands. He falls silent for a moment, and then in a trembling voice he adds, the condemned isn't the worst part. All these years I have prayed to Torag for forgiveness. Countless times I've gone to his priest. Countless times I've kneeled before his altar. If only the father of dwarven kind would answer my prayers just once. Not to restore what I've lost, but just to tell me that I am still one of his children. But it seems he doesn't give a damn about me. What can I expect from mere mortals when my own God doesn't think I deserve redemption? I've seen how the other soldiers treat you. What about it? The dwarf's tone makes it clear that he has no interest in your answer. Evil. I wouldn't have gone so easy on you. Maybe you'll get your chance to do just that. I have to go. Go on then. Maybe we'll see each other again. All right. She doesn't have anything better there. Okie dokie. I cannot imagine what type of person can listen to your muddled rambling and find any deeper truth in it. I don't know why people listen to me either, but I'd like to know. Then I can help them more.
Wherever my legs carry me.
All right, straight to the tower and straight back. Kenumbrus burns. The city should never have fallen. Fate shows no mercy. Darkness and malevolent rage hide behind many masks, but I see them for what they are. I see them in you. hear the echo of menacing footsteps. I feel the heat of ancient cursed rage. Old enemy, you will not escape so easily. Servants of the Abyss, you enter the house of memory with evil in your souls. Soon you will be but a memory.
I see blood. Blood!
Do, 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 do.
Surrender, or else! I'll cut you wide open!
Out of my sight!
The light, take you!
Right. Wherever you are, keep quiet. There's a horde of enemies just beyond this door. Come over here. And you'll see there's a handy way up nearby. Be quiet and watch. This is the best part. Get it together, idiots. No more looting. You're all to sit tight here and wait for the order to attack the defender's heart. It's the last bastion of the Crusader resistance. We'll flatten them and claim our victory. Into the abyss with all Crusaders in the defender's heart. Kailis, the city is ours already. Now it's time to enjoy the spoils. Split up into groups. Quickly, I'll tell you where to go and what to bring back. Foxen, you idiot. Go back to Baphomet. He must be missing his lapdog. Everyone here will be following my orders. I'm in charge. We won't submit to you, you dirty Deskari. Keep out of this, Kalis, or I'll curse all your extremities to wither and drop off. Everyone, listen to me. What we're going to do is... Looking for a fight, Foxen? Well, you've got one. Had enough, worm? I'm in charge here. Kailis is the strongest. No looting, only slaughter. We're going to sit here and wait for the command to attack. The defender's heart will fall.
I'd stay away from there right now. The tower is the main stronghold of the Templars of the Ivory Labyrinth and their allies. Going up against that many of them would be suicide. I have a better idea. If the demons and their mortal agents were better organized, the Crusaders would have been crushed long before now. But they're always trying to spread in every direction. Right now, in every corner of the city, there are demons like Kailis who are trying to consolidate their forces to launch a joint attack on the Defender's heart.
Who are you?
Greybor. I'm a contract killer who's been hired to kill that demon that just walloped that other one. I've tracked him all the way here, and was planning to kill him when that crowd showed up, so I had to pull back.
So, there are people who only hunt demons. And demons think they are the superior predators.
They think so. Their overconfidence will be their downfall.
What do you suggest?
Don't even think about trying to take them all on single-handed. You'll be mincemeat. Better to warn the Crusaders in the Defender's heart that the demons are planning to attack. And later, once the attackers have been taken care of, it'll be much easier to sweep through this tower and eliminate the Defenders left behind.
Like when dueling with rapiers. One doesn't lunge, but waits for the opponent to strike and leave themselves open.
Yeah, exactly like that.
You think I can't handle this lot here and now? Ha! count to 10. By the time you finish, they'll all be dead. The dwarf arches his eyebrows skeptically, but doesn't comment on your bravado. Who hired you?
I'm afraid that's confidential. As a professional, I'm obliged to keep my client's name a secret.
We could attack them together?
I have no desire to die today. If you choose to go in there, I'll take advantage of the opportunity, of course. I'll kill Kylus and get back here as quickly as I can. I'm not going to fight any of the others. I don't work for free.
The city is burning. People are dying. And you're thinking about how to fill your pockets?
Yes. So what? Listen here, girl. If you're so eager to save someone, go and do it. And don't waste your breath preaching at me.
I'm going now.
I hope you act wisely.
You're so sad. Please take care.
What are you doing here, girl? This is no place for people like you. Go. Hide somewhere safe.
Come on. Stop it. Do better, Windowog. Right here.
I
Let's
welcome
give you a
your
little help.
company.
Punish. Save the last
Are you serious? Come on, man. What's the problem? What? I'm not ranking up mobility with her? Crap. That was a mistake. Oh, that's the problem. She's not spec for mobility. Holy smokes, why didn't I do that? Now I'm gonna have to respec her. Alright, I take back the comment, girl.
Well,
I am the
Miss me
problem
already?
here. And there's no way for me to bring it up more either. So she has to roll a 14 to hit that. That's asking a lot.
you'll make a fine.
That was a mistake. Oh well, let's see if we can do this anyway. Oh, I'm not even. Whatever. No complaining. Do it. We do it. We do it. We do it.
I'll cut you wide open.
Excellent. Someone came here to handle business, at least.
Out of my sight!
Ooh, that was unfortunate. Oh well. Ooh, there's a lot of people. Some here.
Burn! Slice! Behead! Yes, behead.
Excellent. That's what I expect out of you. Window out. Excellent. Okay.
I'll rip you apart!
The spirits demand your blood.
Enough. Oh, that's not good.
Beyond.
That's not good.
Into the fray!
Figures much. We're gonna stay down there for a little while.
No match for me.
God dog it. Come on, girl.
You are today's sacrifice.
Excellent.
The Inheritor, guide my blade!
God dog it. Keep saying I dealt damage to Camellia no matter what.
So this is how it feels.
I wonder what lies beyond.
Do. Yep.
They'll beg me
Excellent.
to stop!
He's gonna have a little bit of damage.
The light, take you!
Good enough. All right. It's these three, right? Now the only person we have to worry about is Cellar. So, should be okay.
This is how it feels. So this is how it
I wonder
feels.
what lies beyond.
All right. You.
I'll rip you apart!
God dog it. Ooh. Nice job. Okay. All right. You got less health, but something tells me you're probably harder to take out, right? So we'll focus on you first.
Glory without risk!
I will see to your demise.
What is this again? Oh, God dog it. Forgot about that. Excellent. Almost done. You.
The Inheritor, guide my blade!
Just to be sure. Okay. Keep him nice and paused. And considering he's dazed like that, can he
May
still?
I see your
find
entrails,
out.
please? Let the attack commence.
All right.
No match for me.
And there we go. Well. Boom. Done. Usually I would jump over there and then this pillar would roll through and it would kill a couple of them and make dealing with the rest of them significantly easier. But it's all good.
I did it!
Oh well. I'll take the experience. Ooh. Plenty of good stuff. Come on.
No secrets can escape my prying gaze.
I am helpful, am I not?
Wherever my legs carry me.
Rules are made to be broken.
All right. Finally done with all that, and I think this is a good place to stop. Appreciate everyone who watched and supported the video today. If you enjoyed it, please leave me a like down below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I will see you all in the next video. Take care.